going to introduce our moderator. Everybody say bye, Joe. And if you have not voted yet, early voting has started. It started yesterday. Please make sure you bring your printed ballot with you so that way you know exactly who to mark on your ballot. It makes it very easy. You just go right down the list. All right, as our county judge candidates are coming to the stage, I want to introduce our moderator for this evening. Ms. Swati Joshi has lived in Texas for over 25 years and has been a staunch Democratic activist. She is one of the founders of DFW for Beto, a group with over 14,000 followers on Facebook. Swati has organized multiple events for Beto Award and promoted local candidates at meet and greets, candidate forums, and town halls. Swati served on the board of North Dallas, Texas Democratic Women from 2016 to 2018 and continues to work with many Democratic organizations around Texas. Swati is currently the leader of They See Blue Texas and on the TSB National Strategy Board, working to activate and promote voting in the South Asian community. Please welcome Ms. Swati Joshi. Can you hear me?
Thank you so much. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Sissy, and thank you, Kathy, for organizing this and asking me to be the moderator. I really appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to see both of you. You guys are so far apart.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, sorry. It's a little bit different. All right, I need to put my glasses on. So while I'm getting ready, how many people have voted already? All right. Like she said, early voting has started, so let's get out there and vote. All right, so our first two candidates are judge candidates, so county judge candidates. And I'm going to give the rules or a little bit of housekeeping, but we're going to have you say your opening speech about 2 minutes, exactly 2 minutes. We've got Kathy over there. She's going to her yellow and red signs. The yellow sign means 15 seconds, and red means you're out of time. So I'll be grabbing the microphone from your hands. I'll be very gentle. So then you'll have first 2 minutes of an opening speech, and I'll ask 2 questions. You get 1 minute each, and then you'll have 2 minutes for a closing remark too. All right, so let's get started. So let's have you start first. Your 2 minutes.
Good evening. I'm David Smith, your candidate for Collin County Judge. The county judge race, we got exactly the same dynamic that we got with the state attorney general race. We have an incumbent that absolutely must be replaced. I'm the person with the experience and ability to win in November in the primary along the way. I'm a 3-term Plano City Council member. Spent 8 legislative sessions in Austin lobbying on county and city issues. I've been an elections administrator for 6 cycles. I've been in a variety of county and city committees. And more importantly, I have large organization management experience with EDS for a number of years. And I was in the Air Force doing civil engineering. It didn't start for everything. I look forward to your questions. Things aren't covered. If there are questions, I'll say more at the end. Thank you.
Hello, you hear me all right? Yes. Hi, my name is Joshua Murray. I'm running for Collin County Judge. My entire adult life has been spent serving our country. Initially doing a little less than 10 years in the military, including 2 tours to Iraq and 1 to Afghanistan. Since getting back from being in the military, I spent the last 7 years fighting for an accountable and transparent Collin County. After I transitioned out of the military, I got into real estate. And after real estate, when we moved back to Dallas, I became the vice president of operations for one of the largest pool companies in the state of Texas. I had over 100 employees working for me through Houston, Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio. After I got tired of traveling too much, I transitioned, and I've been in residential construction throughout Collin County for the last 5 years. During this time, I've attended local meetings, starting first out in the rural areas of Lavon, and then transitioning over to the home rule cities of McKinney. And then throughout the last year, I've been attending nearly every weekly county commissioners court meeting and speaking to advocate for increases the detention officer pay, which we got 13%. We've advocated for increases to mental health funding, which we have gotten. All right, we've advocated for addressing the operational issues when it comes to turnover rate, which they just hired 2 new recruiters. So we've gotten something done. All right. So when I come here and I tell you this is the type of judge that I want to be for Collin County, I've shown you over the last year, over the last 7 years, the type of judge that I am going to be, based off my actions, just not what I've said. And so I look forward to your questions this evening. It's again Joshua Murray running for county judge. Thank you.
Go up this side. We'll start with, Joshua. So my first question, what qualifications, prior experiences in governance, and network connections do you bring to the table that will help you succeed as Collin County Judge? You have 1 minute.
All right, I got 1 minute, so I came up with a cool little acronym for you, and it's called COP, all right? And that's going to stand for Construction, Operations, and then Public Safety, all right? These are the 3 key avenues in which your revenue streams go towards for expenditures, all right? When we're looking at construction, there is not a city, well, exception of Blue Ridge, maybe Blue Ridge I haven't, but other than that, I've pulled a permit in every one of these cities. I've worked with the historical commissions, planning and zoning to try and get construction projects approved. Whenever we look at operations, I have been an operations, day-to-day operations manager for over 100 employees through 4 different metros. I am the only candidate that can say that. For over $10 million revenue company. And then whenever we look at public safety, my military background gives me the understanding of tactics, techniques, and procedures that law enforcement use. And I'm the son of a police officer, so I have an understanding of where these expenditures need to go. And that's my district question.
You want me to repeat the question? All right, so once again, what qualifications, prior experiences in governance, and network connections do you bring to the table that will help you succeed as Collin County Judge?
Yeah, great question. As a city council member and later, I got to serve on a number of regional, state, and national committees tackling local governance issues, transportation. I've got connections across the metroplex, across the state. I was part of the statewide transportation advocates of Texas that helped get more funding for transportation. I know people inside, outside of county government. I was on a health task force. Was on a grand jury. Done all kinds of things that give me all kinds of these connections. I'll be somebody who will be able to hit the ground running in the network.
Thank you very much. All right, my second question. I think of the Collin County Judge, the judge candidates as CEOs of the county. And so recently, Collin County received federal funding, about $200 million for COVID relief, which is actually being used for What are your priorities to make the best use of the annual budget going forward? So the first one will be for you, David.
Well, using that $200 million for things that should be funded by bond issues was very misguided. My priorities, number one is public health. We need to use funds to address that. Certainly need to address life safety measures in our jail and elsewhere. We have a mental health crisis in the city, or in the county, and that is related to our jail issues because we have so many mentally ill that end up in jail. We've had deaths in custody. Don't know the details about the most recent one, just this past week. But two previous ones were associated with people who should not have even been in jail in the first place.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Collin County recently received federal funding, about $200 million for COVID relief, which is being used to build a jail. What are your priorities to make the best use of the annual budget going forward?
So priorities to establish the type of foundation that's going to allow our county to actually scale out with all the growth that is coming to us. In order for us to do this, we must have a sufficient amount of employees and/or we must have sufficient infrastructure when it comes to technological advancements in order to support this growth. To establish this, we've got to invest in technological infrastructure that's going to allow us to grow. We've also got to invest in our public works and our facilities department so that they can maintain the infrastructure that we have coming about. The last year to this year, we've had a 40% increase in turnover rate amongst our employees. Right now, you are on chart by the end of 2022 to have less county employees than you had in 2018. Yet your population has grown 12%. It is not sustainable. First thing that we must do is establish a type of foundation that is not saving pennies now just to spend dollars later. And as next county judge, that's what I'll do.
All right, so we're at the end of your section of the program. We're going to give you 2 minutes for your closing remarks. So we'll go with Josh first.
Awesome. All right. Thank you. First, I want to say thank you to all the candidates and to the family. I got my son over here with me, so I got to give him a shout out. I knew it was embarrassing, so I had to. Look, in closing, here's the deal, y'all, is we've reached a pivotal time within not only our county, but also our country's history in which we must have principal leaders located at these top of these positions. And I'll ask you right now, does anybody believe that Ken Paxton is going to do the right thing for them? No. Right. Does anybody believe that Lieutenant Dan Patrick is going to do the right thing for them? No. All right. If anybody in here think that Chris Hill is going to do the right thing for them?
No. No.
When we look at what is occurring right now, there is going on at the county meetings, there is an assault on our elections to try and defund our electronic voting machines so that they can be counted by hand. I will tell you right now, as somebody that's seen this over the last few months evolve, it is a call for action for the county commissioners court to defund our electronic voting machines so that we can transition to all hands. So that the people that count the ballot can decide who wins. Listen, our county election machines have paper that accompany these electronic votes. And they are audited after every single election, and if they don't increase a certain percentage, then it is done. But without having the paper and the electronic ballots, it becomes less secure. It becomes less efficient. It becomes more costly. There is an attack going on our Constitution, and Collin County is the heart of it. I am telling you right now, if Ken Paxton is the hand, Chris Hill is the pointer finger, and whoever is the best candidate to replace him, you gotta vote for it, you gotta vote now.
can do that. I know how to win elections. I know how to campaign. And I've got the reputation in the county through my past service. Most of these connections I just told you about are actually Republicans. And over the last couple of days, I've been rubbing shoulders with a lot of them because they're working for candidates who want to replace incumbents. We're attacking them from the left and the right. But all those people will be voting for me, supporting me in the general election because they already know me. They know I'm a better alternative to Chris Hill. I won't have to introduce myself, make the case, whatever. I already have the support. I ran for county judge back in 2010 against the last bad county judge that we had. And at that time, I pulled in 7,000 more votes than the base Democratic vote. And I'll be able to do that again, actually pull in a lot more. So the combination of our county now being near partisan parity, an incumbent that must be replaced, and somebody that already trusts can take the position of base Democrats plus those swing votes will all add up to victory in November. But along the way, you do need to vote for me in the primary, so appreciate your support.
Thank you for being up here on stage and giving us your ideas. Thank you, and good luck to both of you.